Hey, it's Filet, and you're watching Filet TV, the ultimate YouTube channel. I'm no cinematographer, just a dude with a camera. All right, today is part 5 of my brilliant light purple MEYERS MANX DUNE buggy build. Today we are just going to be getting our dash assembled. We're going to be cutting a square hole, which was kind of crazy, and we're going to be wiring up the back and doing a little bit of testing on the gauges. So if this is something you're interested in, let's get started. Good morning to you, Coco. All right, let's see what we got going on. So I already got the taillights mounted. Nice chrome ones I had laying around. The next is going to be putting the license plate light on. So this is 62 to 66. And this is 67 and up. You see there's a major size difference. And I think I'm going to go with the 67 style, so it's bigger. It just seems to take up this back section nice enough. So we're going to go ahead and get that mounted today, maybe, even though it still has to go to the chrome shop. And then I'm laying out my dash. So once I get the fuel gauge into place, you see it's going to hide that one hole. And then I'm going to go with the ignition switch, headlight switch. This would be, I'm going to use a wiper switch, but I'm going to hook it up for my fuel pump, electric fuel pump on-off switch. And then of course we're going to have a cigarette lighter. Piece of chrome molding is going to go across there. And then we're going to have a Manx emblem on there as well. So that's going to be the layout of the dash. I'm going to go ahead and cut the square hole out and drill these out, get everything mounted, and then I could start working on the electrical wiring for that. So as you see, we got a few things going on here, and we'll get you caught up as we get more going. Okay, my idea was to start with a hole saw and just clean it up with my Dremel, but instead what I've done is I've drilled a million holes all the way around it, and then all I'm going to do is just clean it up with my grinder. Okay, I had mocked everything up and I just started drilling and cutting and grinding. I'll post a picture up here what this looked like as I was doing it, but it was pretty hashed up, but I got it to go pretty straight. Got my chrome molding in, got my switches. This is a little bit too far over that way, but I'm just going to have to deal with it. I know that the inside of the dash is going to be right in the way. I'll show you that in a bit. But I'm going to start taking the tape off, so I figured I'd just grab the camera real quick and we'll see what it looks like. Here we are with the dash completely assembled. The only thing that's missing is I'm going to run this emblem on the dash right here somehow. I'm going to try and make it fit and still try and give it a little bit of an angle. All right, so I've kept this thing mounted on this block of wood as a stand that I was using to work on it. And now I could start building out my electrical. And what I've done here for bulb holders, I've got the early screw type ones, which is going to be awesome for testing. And I have 12-volt bulbs in all of them. So that's going to be awesome because I'm going to be able to hook everything back up here and make my harness for the back of the dash. All right, let me try and do something else. Okay, and I can set that block of wood down on the tunnel and not have to worry about anything falling. And I can start hooking up my wires once I get my loom. So I gotta put the license plate light on, the front turn signals, the headlights I'm gonna mount but take off again until I get the hood done. This time I'm around, I tried to make the hood the last thing I put into place. So we'll be able to come in here and get Everything dialed in, even get the car test fired if we wanted to. All right, let's move on to the next step. All right, I wanted to show you the backside of this module that I kind of put together for my MEYERS MANX dash. Fortunately, I could get it all hooked up here and, you know, kind of try and make everything work. So I've added a couple extra wires, and I've got my fuel pump, and I've got everything hooked up so I could just kind of test what's going on. A lot of this is going to be changed with a new fuel gauge, and maybe the headlight switch doesn't work. And I'll explain that to you in a second. But a lot of that has to be replaced. I'll probably replace this switch out too, because this is an early, like a 58 headlight switch for a Bug, and it's worth keeping. So let's see if I can spin this around again. Okay. I was able to get my emblem in place. I got a little bit of an angle on it. Not much, but I can't go any further than that because it will hit the dash up here. But that's not on there permanently. Fuel gauge. You know, it's manual, so that's real stiff, but it does work. Here, let's give it some tension there. All right, speedometer's hooked up into place. Key switch is into place. Everything's hooked up there. And like I said, fuel pump, and I have a little auxiliary fan. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is, yes. No, you can't. There's a little auxiliary fan right there that I have hooked up to my 12-volt power socket, otherwise known as a cigarette lighter. Okay, so we're gonna hear a beeping as I give this box power. Okay, so when I turn on headlights, I got my dash lights working. I don't have it on the correct one for the dimmer, but that's also because it's not working. So if I pull the headlight all the way out, it goes off, and all the plugs are bad on it. So I'm gonna have to replace that headlight. But to give you an idea, there's headlights. And I turn the ignition on. You hear the fan come on. Let's see if we can do that little rotating action. So the fan works, so the 12-volt socket works. And now we're gonna need a fuel pump, and like I said, I'm gonna have it hooked up over here. So you just pull on this once or twice, and my fuel pump's gonna work. And I could light up the dash bulbs if I wanted to, but no sense, I gotta change the color filaments in there. All right, so the modular part of the dash is all ready to go. Like I said, I can set this inside there and start wiring up everything to it. So that's it on the dash. Simple, easy peasy. All right, headlights off, turn the ignition off. Now let's turn this beeping off. And that's it on wiring my dash. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back when I get my wiring loom into place. Ciao.